Hello, my name is Axel Scherer. I will give you a quick introduction into a basic UVM environment. So the first thing we start off with is a test bench. Test bench is dynamically generated in UVM, but it has to talk to the device, right? So that's the first challenge here. The device could be an RTL model, or it could be a transaction level model, TLM model, or a mixture thereof. Now, how do we bridge this gap here from the RTL to the test bench level? We basically communicate into the DOT using UVCs, UVM verification components. And the particular type of components we use are called interface UVCs. That means they are specific per interface. Here in this example, we have interface A and B. So we have the associated UVCs talking to these interfaces. And these UVCs are basically the components that push the traffic in the device and observe also what's going on these interfaces. So they are the basic bridge and communication mechanism into the device under test. While doing so, they can perform checking, such as protocol compliance, and they can also harvest coverage that they observe on these interfaces. So great, now we have a system that can talk to the device. We start with the fundamentals. And we can even check if this device is protocol compliant. Obviously, protocol compliance is important, but insufficient to make sure your device operates properly. So to accommodate the second part, we have another UVC, and that's a module UVC. Its job is to make sure that the device is actually functioning properly. It does what is expected. The module UVC is receiving information from the interface UVCs and then calculates and predicts the behavior of the DOT and performs checking, let's say with a scoreboard or reference model in a scoreboard, and it also collects coverage, right? We are fundamentally doing a constrained random simulation here, so we have to measure how effective our tests have been. And the coverage in the module UVC will be device specific. It might look at structural things like how full are your buffers and things like that, to assess if you have explored all the important corner cases. Okay, now we have most of the infrastructure in place, but it's still not efficient to drive a proper test. So we're introducing another component called the virtual sequencer. Its job is to coordinate the traffic between multiple interfaces. Okay, you cannot just have these interfaces do whatever they want, right? We need to coordinate the traffic in a predictable manner. For example, it doesn't make sense to push traffic from interface B into this device before we have set up the device, before we have configured its registers. So the virtual sequencer can control these UVCs and say, hey, before we start off a test, let's configure this device, and then we initiate traffic in a structured, predictable manner. Great, so we have the basic infrastructure in the test bench. Let's talk about tests, right? We have a set of tests that are custom to get into this device into a certain behavior. So the test comes from the top down and tells the test bench what it needs, what it should do, right? To customize the test bench behavior to its needs. For example, it can tell the virtual sequencer, hey, run certain types of traffic in the device, like stress this scenario and things like that. But it's not limited to controlling the traffic. The test can control almost anything, right? It could adjust even the topology of the test bench. Let's say something changes in your DOT, you can adjust easily from the test to mirror these changes in the test bench topology. So this is the basic system for an UVM environment. Of course, there's more complexity to it and much more details. We will walk through all these subcomponents and a lot of other aspects in the next couple of videos. You can find more videos like this either on this YouTube channel or at support.cadence.com at the video library for the Incisive Simulator. Thank you very much, have a great day, and talk to you soon.